Week 4 now officially in the books, man, and it was another awesome week. I mean, just so many good games, and we're learning so much about these teams, man. It's so cool to
Good
sit
and
there and
bad.
get. I mean, yeah, but it's so cool to just sit there and to watch. And it started with, if I'm an Auburn fan, man, I'm okay. Like I'm okay with what happened. Like, am I pissed off? Yes. Am I mad that we did not finish the drill? You were very much in position to take care of business. You had a chance to win. You looked like the better team for the majority of the game. The mistakes hurt you, like the punter dropping the football, setting them up. But you outgained Oklahoma the majority of the game. You took care of matchups with Coleman out wide. Jackson Arnold played pretty much mistake-free football. Like, if I'm Auburn, I caught a punt inside the 1 yard line. Like, I should not feel bad about what my team is. I should be frustrated about the loss, but I took away that I think Auburn's going to be very competitive. They're going to be in every single game they play. And just Auburn fans, don't lose your mind completely, because there was a lot to freaking like about that game today.
Well, so the question, I think how you worded that, the question is, were they the more talented team? Because that just, you're watching that game, especially when number 8 is doing his thing. Cam Coleman, like, he was unstoppable. If they could just complete some deep balls, he would have had 250 receiving probably. But yes,
Well, and that's the beauty
game.
of, but that's also why Venables gets paid all that money too. Like,
Yes.
he heats you up. Oklahoma had 10 sacks. Now, that's not all because of Oklahoma or because of Oklahoma. No, it's not. Like, that's one thing that
Majority of QB stat.
You're going to learn, Auburn, that you're growing as Jackson Arnold grows, but you need him to eliminate those mistakes, and he has. Is he holding on to the football too long? Yes, he is, and he's taken too many sacks, and that's going to be part of the process, but he's going to grow as the season gets along when they learn what he can and can't do. He still showed you the wow 4th and 11 scramble. He still bought time when you need to. He missed Coleman a couple of times as well that I don't want to overthrow Coleman. Like, it's hard to do anyways, but, OU, and here's the thing. Here's the last thing for me, Brent, and we can move on because there's so much good stuff to talk about. Like, here's what I knew. OU got the ball down 1 with 7 minutes left, and John Mateer had it. I had zero doubt whatsoever, less than zero, that they would go right down the field and they would take care of business because he's that dude. Like, I know he didn't play great. Like, he was a little bit too quick to leave the pocket. I didn't love that. The officials could have been a lot more fair, I would say, too, because I mean,
We're going to talk about a couple different ones in that game.
There was several in that game that were very interesting that if I'm an Auburn fan, I'm a little pissed off about. Like, a little bit pissed off. Like, and I understand that, but still, Mateer got the ball. They needed a stop. He did his thing. Frustrating last drive for Auburn's offense. But again, man, like, so much to look at your squad and say, we're better. Jackson Arnold's better. We've got a chance in every game we play this year. Like, every game you play, Auburn, you have a chance to win. That's got to be a great feeling, even though I know you're a little ticked off right now.
Yeah, and with Mateer, you talked about him having the ball. They started getting the ball out quicker. I thought that was one thing that they needed to do, because their efficiency as the game went on was struggle. It's almost like they were not trying to run the ball. Like, hey, you got to at least try to run the ball some.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
The officiating part. So the play that was the one guy, whoever was calling, the official that was it Matt Austin? The TV official guy was like, yeah, that's a penalty. That's unsportsmanlike conduct. He gave himself up. Versus, he didn't actually come off the field and that sort of thing. What'd you think about that one?
I honestly, I don't think it's unsportsmanlike penalty. Like, I think that's part of gamesmanship. I think that's part of your job, is to be able to see that. Like, Brent, that's been happening for years. We did that in youth league football. You sneak people on the field. If you're not paying attention, that's your fault. Like, you don't do it.
He never
came
off is the thing. He never came off the field. And
so they didn't substitute, which means you had to allow them to substitute. So that wasn't the one that I would be upset about. Like, the fumble to the house that started the game off, like, on their, like Auburn was riding, the Auburn had needed something good to happen early, and it did. And then guess what? It got ripped away. Like, because to me, he caught the football. It looked like it was a fumble. It looked like he lost possession. Nicholas, my son, was pissed on the catch on the sidelines that he thought wasn't a catch on the sidelines, but I honestly thought that one was either way, like, because now you overturned it. That's the problem. The problem is if both calls are very close and you overturn both, like, that's something that I'm a little bit frustrated with. But what you said about Mateer and their offense, non-Mateer carries today, 14 carries for 6 yards. Not going to work. Not going to work the rest of the season, man. They got to figure that part out if Oklahoma wants to be a playoff team and go try to compete for a championship.
And the 5-star freshman lineman, the left tackle kid, I don't think he played at all, if I'm not mistaken. But
Sean Walker in the chat, I'm with you, bro. I don't know what a catch is anymore, dude. I'm done with it. Like, I don't know what a catch is, especially near the end zone. Like, go ahead and screw it because you have no freaking clue.
Yeah. So like 2 notes I had, like in all caps: fumble or incomplete. So that was the first play, the one that got house back, and then catch or no catch. That was, and I actually thought Venables, when they were up 13-10, and then kicked a field goal on 4th and 2 at the 10-yard line.
Yeah,
I wrote that as a note,
you're like lost.
That's like a losing decision kind of thing for me.
Yeah,
because
Indiana had one of those that I thought they were going to do the same thing, but they flipped it and reversed it. They put the game down, flipped it and reversed it.
We'll get to that.
All right.
That was note number 1. That was note number 1 on that one, by the way.
Let's get to Miami and Florida. So here's what it's come to with Miami and Florida. Here's what it's come to with Florida. Guys, I'm really sorry, Florida fans. What y'all have been relegated to offensively now is the equivalent of a high school offense. It's 100% what it is. Like, you had 32 yards in the first half. You had 5 out of 6 possessions were 3 and outs. The only way you scored was the second half was you go on an 80-yard drive and you run the ball 10 times, but you literally it's one read, it's throw it. Like, it is zero trust in your guy, DJ Lagway, who was supposed to be, the answer. There's no solutions on that side of the ball. Florida's still competing. They're still keeping games close, which is great to see. But the offense, broski, it's beyond repair.
I say high school might be a generous comment.
Youth league football.
You might. Well, I was thinking you might go like JV, at least in terms of that. I will say I thought he was going to like be DJ Lag going away, like die in a way early in that game because it wasn't good. But has there ever been a better time for a bye to come than what Florida gets right now before they play Texas at home? Like, they need a bye.
Probably they would have won a few games that have been good.
But yes, but at least you can hang your hat on, hey, our defense is playing fantastic, independent of all the injuries. No Banks, no Gums. Like, other guys went down in the game.
Still stepping up.
Defense is like hanging around, playing, and they sort of give up in the end. But
yeah, the damn broke.
That's something to hang your hat on because it's not like Texas has played well.
You know what, Brent? You know what every Florida fan's going to you right now? They're doing this right here. Hey, we're tired of moral victories, bro. Just take those moral victories and stick it up your tailpipe. We want to freaking win. I'm tired of you telling me they're fighting. I'm tired of telling me you're hanging around. Like, I get it, Florida fans. I'd be tired of hearing it too, man. Moral victories be danged. They're gone. The offense is atrocious, man. Like, I can't help you. I can't say nice things. I try to be positive. I'm positive Florida's offense is terrible. I'm positive. It's awful. It looks like a youth league football offense. Man, it's a struggle. One thing about Miami before we move on from me. Miami's offense. Dude, their first opening scripts are freaking like beautiful. Like, they are on point, man. That's 3 every single game this season, man. First drives are on point. They know where they're going with the football. They go down, they score right away. They still have a red zone problem. Miami still has I get conservative. I'm just going to pound you. The field shrinks. You can't let people get away with that. You've got to get a little bit more creative. But hats off to Miami because that's a great start to the season. They've got so many things going in the right direction, and the most important part is winning, and their defense is more than fixed. Because that was all it was a year ago. Your defense was atrocious, and now it's fixed. You're moving forward. You got to be happy with what you've seen, everybody in Miami.
And they get 2 weeks off before a monster game at Florida State.
Monster
now,
game.
Florida State has to go to Virginia, I think, next Friday. But, assuming they take care of business there, that sets up a Florida State-Miami game that hasn't been that big for a long, long, long time. One thing I think that I've noticed Miami has done more so over the past few weeks, and I think one of the touchdowns was on it to the tight end, or at least he got down near the goal line. They've added they run any sort of mesh play, zone read type stuff with Beck. They always have a receiving option that he can spin it out to really quick. And with him and his typical, I'm not going to run, or I'm not necessarily a threat to run, that's a big deal, and I think that's good for their offense to at least be efficient, stay and keep the ball, and do the things that they want to do. But yeah, I think you talk about Billy Napier and the moral victory stuff.
They're done with that. Let's go.
That goes to
cares about Billy Napier anymore.
Well, but it goes to a bigger picture. I think that you're going to, for me, after watching this weekend, that you didn't see a lot of coaching change last offseason because of all the change in the sport. I think you're going to see mountains. You've already seen some, but I think you're going to see mountains of coaching changes this year.
Yeah. Well, Florida fans are probably excited about that. I think they've had enough. Don't forget, guys, when you hit the like, subscribe, all that stuff, give us a good rating right now with the audio podcast. We would appreciate that. This is going to be as good as it gets with recaps and what you hear on Sunday mornings when you're in your car. All right. Next, Texas Tech. The Red Raiders versus the Utes. If I'm a Utah fan, I'm very frustrated. Everything. Listen, it was ugly, man. Like we've been talking about Utah and their new offense and how creative it is and how hard it is to defend. And Texas Tech said, "Hold my beer." Like, this is hard to defend. Like, they met the physical challenge up front with Utah. They stopped the run. And Utah's got bigger problems now, too, because they don't have explosiveness in the passing game. And that really showed. Like, Texas Tech sitting on everything. Everything, man. Every ball that was thrown, it was contested because they're sitting on it. And they know you're not going to take deep shots. And they took a couple unsuccessfully. But I thought if you can – now, listen, there's not a lot of teams in the Big 12 that can meet the physical challenge of Utah. Like, that can't happen. But ROI on Texas Tech is really strong right now, baby. Return on investment. Really solid. Cody Campbell said last year – I remember they asked him at the last part of the season, "Hey, you got to go fix this," he said. And he goes, "We will. We'll go get it done in the portal." And he said, "Yep, I'll go get her done." And they have absolutely got her done.
You talked about the offense with Utah and some of the unique things and the misdirection and all the stuff that we talked about when we looked at them specifically. What's the easiest way to defend any offense in any level of football? Have 4 absolute butt kickers on the defensive line. And by the way, that's what Texas Tech has. Those 4, Hunter, Gil Howard, Height, and Bailey, they won that. Not to say won, but they dominated that game, that matchup, that sort of look. And it wasn't always getting to the quarterback. The ball was out quick or he was scrambling, but there was constant pass rush wins for them. Gil Howard,
and even when they didn't get home, they were getting deflections. Like they were.
Gil Howard is Grady Jarrett. Like, he's like the sort of undersized guy that's just quick and is all over the place. Hunter is 330 and is just huge.
He ain't missed a meal.
No,
Bro, Cephas ain't missed a meal.
Strong. Bailey's quick. Like,
yeah, we can talk about all those guys all we want. Will Hammond won the game for him. Like,
Onions.
That was incredible. Like, Morton is the stud. Morton is the guy we all talked about. Will Hammond, a freshman, comes off the bench in at QB, and you're like, ooh, this might get spicy. And Will Hammond said, I'll just take off and run. I'm not going to slide. And he was the ball came out with some zip. The ball came out with some conviction, and it wasn't like this game was out of hand. Like it was 10-13, and it was back and forth in a tough environment, one of the tougher environments in all of college football. And he comes in with some freaking onions and starts delivering strikes. It was absolutely. He goes 13 for 16. For 169, 2 touchdowns, and then he kicks in 8 runs for 61 yards. You're like, slide, bro. You're the backup quarterback. And he's like, nope, that ain't how I roll. And so I thought my man Will Hammond saved the day for Texas Tech. I'm not sure they would have won if he didn't come in and do what he did and step up. And the passing game immediately got better with the freshman coming in and making plays.
Well, PFF early grading, by the way, 96.6 passing grade, 4 big-time throws from your boy Will.
Deep shots.
25%, by the way. So think of that, 4 big-time throws, 16 attempts. That's big time. But I think the point that was made during the broadcast was actually the best and most salient point. Morton was gone all spring. He was the guy who got the run with the ones. He was the guy who got all those reps in the spring. So when he came in, which I think it was the first third down that he was drifting to his left a little bit. And
over the middle of the field?
Over the middle of the field.
And you're like, no! Oh, great throw. Like, he's a dime.
Like, no
That's
sweat.
why I said onions. Like, there was no hesitation. Like, Brent, that's not normal to be a freshman, to be in that atmosphere and to just, like, let it hang out. Like, let it rock out. Like, let's go. Like, we ain't scared of the moment. It was impressive, man.
Your namesake was the thing that kept him from the shutout in the first half.
I told you, Pollack's going to go in there and ball, bro. That's my brother from another mother.
He had the penalty that I think he ran into the kicker or something like that. That gave him the field goal there at the end. But no, hey, he still played really good. He still played really good.
All right, let's go to the next thing because we're going to go to the not so positive. I would love to give you a Clemson take that is very good and very positive. Antonio Williams played. Dabo had the meltdown. The building was on ease. And you know what I learned about Clemson after this game right here, about the Syracuse game? I learned that this year's FSU. That's what I learned. Like, a lot of things to talk about. A lot of positive, a lot of guys returning, a lot of big names, a lot of reason for hope. And then so far, you've been every bit as disappointing as FSU was a year ago. Do they go 2 wins? Maybe not. But right now, like, there's not a bigger disappointment in all of college football than what they've been so far. And today was the defense. We've seen the defense play okay in spurts, but either way, man, you got problems. You got a lot of problems. I don't know which one has to get fixed first, but God, dog, it is not good times, and there is not a single person who's all in Clemson.
No, and it's the scariest thing about watching that game, especially early, was Syracuse just took it to them physically. Like the entirety of the first half.
Running the ball.
Running it down their throat.
First
north
5
and south.
plays, just
like Angeli was ball placement galore in the first half, playing well.
Peanut butter and jelly time. Peanut butter and jelly time.
I hope he's okay because that little non-contact thing running that did not look great for him. But this is what we talked about earlier in the week, what do you want to see if you're a fan base? You want to see that your head coach is in control and has things under control. And then when you respond as Dabo did in that environment, and then your team plays like this, plays like absolute garbage. Now it's like the GIF where the cartoon character sitting in the middle and like there's fire all around them and it's like everything's fine. That's kind of what it looks like.
Well, you said, let's go to the other side of this too. Fran mother freaking Brown, like does it again. Another but just. Like, if you don't watch Fran and you don't watch, like, just keep watching the videos online because we could use him for Podium Kings every week because he is literally no nonsense. He is no BS. He was like, you come mess with my roster, like, you're going to find out. And he don't say it like I say. He going to use a few more adjectives. But they come out, They run the football the first 5 plays. Then they throw it with a bunch of man beaters because they knew they were going to get beaten man, and they were ready for it. And they attacked, and they kept the throttle down. They go onside kick after they score on their first position.
Yep.
They have the ball for 25 plays in the first quarter. Clemson had it for 9, I think, in the first quarter. They came out trying to win, stayed aggressive. Fran Brown and his motivation, his learning, his personality, man, like those kids are going to believe because he believes and he's that guy. Like, so don't expect them to not have more big wins. Don't expect Syracuse to go crawl in a hole because they lost a bunch of people. And how about this too, man? Syracuse is one of the best offensive coach teams in the country. Like, I just tell you, watching
especially
what
the
they
passing
did
game
last year with Kyle McCord, and then Angeli comes in and is on pace to do the same exact thing. Like, they know how to attack you. They are exceptionally well coached, and Fran knows the pulse and knows how to motivate people. So congratulations, Syracuse, man. That's a big-time win. I know Clemson's not, the team we thought they were by any stretch, but that's still going in their place and taking care of business. That's impressive.
Clemson gets North Carolina next. I think they could right the ship a little bit, at least maybe some.
We'll see.
But I don't think it's looking good for Clemson and any sort of the rest of their season. So we talked about Texas Tech and Utah. That was one where you were a little bit off. I was a little bit sort of more correct. Let's talk about a game where you were way correct and I was way off. That would be Coach Sig absolutely putting
Google me,
down.
Biznich. Sig's going to have plenty to say because Boot met Ace. Like, Boot got in Ace. Like, that was an absolute arse kicking. Like, Illinois, like Indiana, people are going, who's going to make the playoff? Indiana was like, all right, like, go sit at the little kids table. Like, that's exactly what they said. And Brent, it's the reason it happened is two things. One is not surprising. One, I told you Surratt and Cooper on the outside, that's a problem. Like, the speed is a problem. You saw Duke be a problem. If you're not watching, we talked about him during the transfer portal. Fernando Mendoza is an absolute baller. Like, he's one of the best players. He might be a first-round pick at quarterback. Like, he's big, he's tall, the ball comes out, he's strong, he can extend plays. Like, you've got problems when it comes to matching up with Indiana's speed on the perimeter, his ability to run, their physicality. But their defensive line absolutely wiped the floor with Illinois. Like, every time Illinois dropped back I felt bad for Altmaier at some point. I was like, he had no shot to succeed. So the speed winning, I'm not surprised with. But that's the Duke game. They did not hold up well in the trenches. And then this game, Illinois has not held up well in the trenches. All those returning guys, that was big time disappointment.
And I think that was one, Illinois had both Scott. They lost both Scott. First Scott didn't play. Second Scott gets the targeting call. So now 2 of your top 4 secondary guys are out. That makes that matchup even way worse. But it was the speed along Indiana's defensive front and the explosiveness along their defensive front from guys that, I mean, like, Kamara was big time last year coming back,
Always.
But some other guys that.
But you could mention 10 other guys tonight.
Yes.
I mean, and twisting, looping, stunting, like they get home. They get home.
But the point you made earlier, you talked about it a little bit ago. When he wasn't going to go for it on 4th and 1 early in that game. And then he did, and they get it. And I think they scored, 2 or 3 plays later, maybe?
Yeah.
You have to coach like that. Aggressive SIG, greater than passive SIG.
It wouldn't have mattered regardless.
No, but
this would have been arse whipping regardless. But here's the thing I'll say. Like, SIG last year was very clear about being aggressive and keeping the pedal to the floor. He's got to do the same thing this year. Like, I know it's changed. The perception of Indiana's changed, and it should. Like, if you're not believing, like, this is 2 years in a row. Like, they're going to be in the playoff hunt now. Like, you can go ahead and count on that. They're a really, really good football team. They just beat a really good football team. So I thought if you wanted them to lose and because so Signetti couldn't run his mouth. Sorry, guys, you just got more Signetti. So sorry,
and by the way,
sorry.
did you see his face most of the game? Like he looked
like
he was trying to like murder Bielema. Like
he's always looking for an edge. He's got that Saban background. He's got that he's intense. And I love it, man. I love it.
Special teams, by the way, all these games.
Punt blocks.
Like you get the punt block for a touchdown instantaneously. Like Auburn is an issue. Missouri, hey, special teams did okay for them. Their backup kicker hit a nice sort of game clinching kick.
He went 3 for 3
there, but
we're getting there, bro. Don't be jumping ahead.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Hey, Brett Taylor in the chat. If you missed it earlier, he said, "How long can Napier keep his job?" We are not predicting long. That was a bad look tonight again. We have no positive thoughts. Like there is nothing to point to in a positive direction.
I think he gets the Texas game. If they get embarrassed in the Texas game, I think they can him.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next thing. We got plenty more to get to, man. This is freaking awesome. There's just so many good games. Hey, we getting to Oregon? Because welcome to the season.
Bad beat.
Well, no, welcome to the season, Oregon. Like the preseason is officially over for the Oregon Ducks. And Dan will like that. Dan will like a little bit of bulletin board material. But they've played very little competition. This is the way some people do it. It's okay. Like, there's a lot of teams that do that across the country. We're going to find out a lot about their team, next week. But I think Dante Moore has shown you a lot through the first several games of the season where you trust him. Like you see the elite talent, you see the accuracy. They've been able to run the football. I mean, Noah Whittingham doesn't even play. No problem. It doesn't really matter. The last couple games he didn't play, and it didn't matter. Malik Benson is balling at receiver. How about Moore out wide at receiver? He's one of the best freshmen in the country. Like there's weapons. There's some small things to point to maybe with the run game that I'll be interested to see how they hold up with. They've had some issues stopping the run. And again, it's little issues against Northwestern and Oregon State. Does it compound and become a bigger issue against Penn State? That's all we know. But
can I give you an early lean there? Because I got one. My early lean is Oregon.
Yeah. I mean, you're always going to go Oregon. You're going to go Ducks.
No, Friday, I'm like, all right, I got nothing going on. I was just kind of chilling in the afternoon. I went and watched Penn State first 3 games. I feel a lot better about Oregon after watching Penn State's first 3 games.
You know what I remember last year? I remember Oregon winning the Big Ten championship game against Penn State, and I remember Penn State running all over them. And I was shocked out of my mind. And this defense is not as good as a year ago's defense. So I hear you. I mean, Penn State finished their preseason schedule as well. But let's not waste any more time on that because we've got so much good stuff to talk about. And we're going to talk about Penn State, Oregon this week. And we're going to have Joe Clyde on, which I think will be great because he's calling the game. So he'll be dialed in and locked into everything that's going on. I got something for you with this next game, though. I believe I've seen enough with Missouri to say that, like, is my manimal, half man, half animal, Ahmad Hardy, is he the best running back in college football?
I don't think there's any doubt.
I think I've seen enough to know, like, legs and booty is a problem. Tenaciousness is a problem. Like, he can break tackles. He can run around you. He has good enough patience. Like, Ahmad Hardy is the best running back in college football. This running game for Missouri is a freaking problem because when he comes out, it's not like some scrub comes in. Jamal Roberts comes in, and you got to tackle him, and he's physical. And then guess what? Bo Perbula runs the ball, and he's physical and athletic. So, like, this Missouri offense is an absolute pain in your arse, and the running game is going nowhere because the system is set up for it. Bo Perbula playing the way he's playing. Missouri had an off night, but I call that a tie, button-up, professional win for Missouri tonight.
It's more than just something's brewing, right? Because we had a little fun earlier in the week, looked at them as our something's brewing team, our something's brewing team was 1-1 on the weekend. I was glad that Missouri kind of came back and took care of that because I would have hated to hex 2 different teams in that regard. But did you see the team rushing totals in that game? Now, granted, sacks are count against rushing totals, which is the dumbest thing ever.
It was like 300 to -7.
Yes, right. Finished at 285 -9 for South Carolina. And what's this? The sad part for South Carolina is Sellers actually looked probably the best he's looked all season from the pocket.
No, not from the. That was, if I'm South Carolina, I'm excited because that is absolutely the best I've seen from Sellers. And maybe the concussion dinged him up and made him think pass first. And he did. And he made plays throughout this game to keep his squad in it. He also ran it, which shows you some toughness after getting dinged. But it's 3rd and 33, and the dude's bouncing outside the pocket to his left, throwing a laser. Threw some balls down the field, like right in the bucket. Like, that's the first time, Brent, I've seen South Carolina's offense look like they had some semblance of what it was a year ago, down the stretch. It's the first time I've seen it. So South Carolina fans, be excited about that. At least you saw that and saw some big-time plays because we haven't seen much besides Swain returning punts. It's been hard to score for them.
Did you think that was a targeting where they initially called it and then they took it away?
No.
Where Purdue was kind of sliding or half slide, kind of weird.
Listen,
slide that he has.
if you're and there was also one where the running back lowered his head as well. If you're in a position where you don't slide before I get to you and then you start to slide, dude, I'm out. I can't protect you from that. You're not protected in that area. Slide sooner. If you want to be protected, slide sooner. And the other one was, man, when he was on the sidelines and the running back lowered his head, he's a ball carrier, and he lowered his head. If he lowers his head and then we go helmet to helmet, I can't really control that. So I feel like we've done a better job with targeting this season. I feel like
that was one of my big picture questions for the day.
Yes.
There's a lot of targeting, not targeting today.
Yeah, and I feel like they've done a really good job. If it's gray, if it's close, if it's not flagrant, if it's not egregious, come on, man. Don't call it. And I think they're doing a better job of that.
By the way, Missouri did that without their starting left tackle, who's really good, Caden Green. So backup left tackle, Dylan Stewart on the other side, and they just put 300 rushing.
So for all you OU fans and Auburn fans, we got something for you. Wes, our producer, already found this. So basically, the substitution play in the Auburn game was illegal. It was not kosher. It was basically saying the crew missed it and will be held accountable, kind of like the Missouri game when they were the Big 12 squad missed it and was accountable. So Auburn fans, I'm sorry. It doesn't make it better. Like when you say you're sorry, it still happened. You still lost, but another reason to be pissed off because that's not that. Auburn so deserved better than that. They deserved to win that game, but they didn't. And Boomer Sooner, don't take that as an insult. Don't get your panties in a wad. You're supposed to win. You got to win games like that during a season. You've got to win games when you don't bring your fastball, you don't play great, and you find a way to somehow get it done. That was that game. But Auburn missed out on a daggum golden opportunity that they kind of earned, man.
In Oklahoma, you could take solace in the fact that you get Kent State, and then you are 5-0 heading into Red River. And that game is now the hype for that game is obviously insane in the normal sense. Now that Oklahoma is going to be 5-0, that's going to make that game even more so insane. Which, by the way, Auburn, they got to go to A&M next week. Doesn't get any easier for them in the SEC. Speaking of, it might get a little easier. Michigan played a tough game on the road that, they go to USC in a couple weeks, but they took care of business at Nebraska, and Nebraska again still does not have that ranked win since what was it, 2016? I think we talked about.
Yep, 2016. But I'm not discouraged if I'm a Nebraska fan.
No.
I'm not discouraged. They've been in this moment a lot recently, and it's gone horrible. Indiana game last year, Nebraska. Here we go, baby. I'm in. I'm believing. Ooh, dang! It's which one of y'all kicked me? Rush hour, right? I just got my beat. But that wasn't today, man. And I thought Raiola deserves a lot of credit, man, because that dude, like you talk about an offensive line getting beat like they stole something. That offensive line, they're like, all right, left tackle, come here, bullpen. We're going to get another one here. It didn't help. Like Michigan pinned their ears back, 3-man, 4-man, 5-man pass rush. It didn't matter. They got to Raiola. He made some plays off script that I really liked. He also got rid of the ball and made some plays. Barney was big in the punt return and before the half catching, like, that they could not run the ball, and they need to be better running the football. Like Emmett Johnson needs to get some space to help them a little bit, but I thought Raiola played a really good football game. I thought he got the ball out, and for as much as he was getting abused, and I'm talking about physically, like getting hit over and over again, he kept coming back, and I love what he said after the game, too. I don't know if you saw his quote. A lot of people think, like, this might break us. I'm telling you right now, we're coming together, and we about to do something scary. Like, sign me up for that dude. Like that, nice. I want that Raiola. Like, that's freaking awesome.
Yes. And you know who else, by the way, just since you brought up post-game QB comments, Mateer just sounds like that dude. When he talks. Dude. Like, when he talks, though, I'm following that guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Nebraska, though, by the way, the rest of their schedule, they get USC at home, and then they go to at Penn State later. The rest of those, at Maryland kind of looks a little bit different now because Maryland's actually playing well. But if they're consistently playing well like that, and they also they had missed opportunities. Like first drive, they go for it on fourth down, which I didn't mind the call, but they didn't get it, and then they missed a field goal. So
when do you ever mind if they go for it on fourth down? You want them to go for every fourth down.
Because that's how it should be.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, what'd you think of the Hail Mary, though?
I couldn't stand it defensively. Like, what the Hail Mary are we doing? That's what I said. Like, guys, when you go try to catch the football, you're an idiot. Like, we are taught this in practice. Like, you're going to let that dude catch it on the 1-yard line and turn and twist and get in the end zone? Like, you come over top of him, you're swatting the ball down. If he catches it, you force him straight down. He catches on the 1, so be it. You don't let the guy out of the pocket either. You let Raiola run around, buy time. You keep that animal in the cage. You keep the quarterback in the pocket so he can't buy time, scramble, and throw that down the field. That was bad, but here's the thing. Michigan deserves their credit too because Michigan put that suit on, cuz. They put the suit on. They put the cufflinks on. They put the tie on. They went to Lincoln on a business trip, and they took care of business. Like, face some adversity with a freshman quarterback who's still continuing to grow and still showing us wow moments. Like, he's still struggling a little bit, and then we'll show you the moment. You're like, he takes off for 37 after the one mistake Raiola did make, and you're like, Because that son of a biatch, you don't realize, that sucker's built like Cam Newton, man. Yep. Like, he's not a small cat. And he's taken off for 37 untouched, but it was the big plays of Michigan, and it was Michigan owning the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball that really carried the day. Haynes has a 75-yard touchdown run. I told you Underwood had 37-yard touchdown run. Marshall went 54, and they rushed for almost 300 on the ground. But, like, the big plays, business trip to go to Nebraska and play a good team without your head coach, no big deal.
So that's a big part of the business part of it. Biff had sleeves on. Like, Biff brought the professional today. Biff Poggi, who was acting head coach. It wasn't, Charlotte version of Biff Poggi that, has the really too big shirt with the sleeves weirdly cut off with some stuff hanging out that shouldn't be hanging out. It was very professional Biff today. But
did you just call Biff fat? I'm pretty positive you did.
No, I did not. I just said I'd wear I'd dress like he did today versus how he did previously. But he did have a great comment with Saban on game day today. I saw that clip because Saban was teasing about how he bought all the players and he was Jerry Jones and all that sort of stuff. And Biff poked back at him and said, "Yeah, I learned that from you."
and
which is fantastic.
That was pre-NIL.
Yeah. But back to Michigan, though. Them using Underwood's legs, it unlocks an explosive element to their offense that they don't necessarily have on the outside. And now that makes Michigan, to me, a team that, especially with their schedule, they're going to be battling towards the end. For that Ohio State game might be a playoff in or out type game for them.
Well, it also masks their biggest weakness because they're not what they were up front in years past, and the weapons are good, but they're not elite. So now when I run those attachments out wide, you watch it becomes a QB draw or a QB power, but now you have to account for the numbers out wide. Now you got to tackle Underwood and his big self. So and I like the way he runs the ball too. I mean, I do like that. Like I love the way he runs the rock with some purpose, and he also has great feel for people near his body. I think that's a really good thing too. So Michigan, they're finding themselves for sure. But that was a freaking awesome week, man. Like there was so much goodness going on the screen at all times. And I know some people look at it and only think, UNLV was freaking awesome. Like if you missed that game, it was back and forth, and that's one of the Power 5 teams that you're going to continue to look at because Tulane, Group of 5, because Tulane got that ace whipped by Ole Miss. I was surprised how well the defense played, but UNLV trailed by 14 twice, and didn't have the lead until 16 seconds left in the game. Literally did not have one lead. They gave up a kick return and a pick six on back-to-back plays, and somehow Dan Mullen, kept drawing up plays in the dirt, finding a way to get her done, and UNLV stays alive in the non-Power 4, the Group of 5.
So I have a thought on that. And yes, by the way, Memphis, big win over Arkansas today. Arkansas, great punch out of the fumble. Arkansas was up, 18 at one point. Memphis come back, get the big win.
It away.
It was, by the way, it was a very bad at the end of the game. Like, why were they not just taking a knee? They were actually running plays. I was shocked by that. But I can't live in a playoff world where they get a spot anymore. I don't think. Tulane was a team that we looked at as a potential team, and Ole Miss curb stomped them.
Stomped them out.
Memphis' best win now is going to be against the 13th or 12th best, at best, SEC team. At best, I said that's why I'm even giving them just in case. And they should have their own playoff. I still think that. I'm sorry. I hate.
Well, it'd be fun.
Two different sports
too.
Now.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun to watch too.
I mean, they've got a lot of wins. Like
South
USF
Florida
got a big
disagrees.
win, and they've got a bunch of big wins this year. But
still, programs that need a budget, that need to be subsidized, and that component would need to be figured out too. But that was a lot, man. We covered a lot pretty quickly. I thought that was actually pretty good for us.
We missed a little bit of Big 12 talk because Arizona State got that victory at the very end, field goal to win it. So they are 3-1 now, 1-0 in the Big 12. And then TCU, big win by TCU against SMU.
I mean, every time anything happened and I looked up, every single time throughout the day, Eric McAllister was just catching a slant and going 70. And then his QB even gets hit and the ball's fluttering out of his hand, and the dude comes back between 6 SMU defenders and catches it. Eric McAllister had over 250 receiving. He had a day. He was balling for TCU. I mean, he was absolutely in fuego, out of his mind.
Jalen Daniels had a day, and the Mountaineers took a big L at Kansas, lost by 31.
We knew that was coming.
Do you look at that? BYU still undefeated, Bear Bachmeier. Do you look at after what happened today, though, and what you've seen with Arizona State losing at Miss State, Kansas losing at Missouri? Does Texas Tech now your clear favorite in the Big 12?
Whoever won this one was the clear favorite. I mean, that was pretty. That was going to be pretty obvious to me. And Texas Tech taking care of business like they did. Now, listen, I did not leave thinking Texas Tech was overly explosive. Now,
no.
Will Hammond came in the game and they got better. They got more explosive and the ability to take down the field. But no, I don't. I think the clear favorite is Texas Tech until otherwise. And Utah fans are extremely disappointed. Vanderbilt took care of business. By the way,
Rodriguez for Texas Tech. 10.
Oh yeah,
and their whole defense was just flying all over the field. In that
Hey,
game.
he's a cool story too. Like he was a
non-transfer. He's been there the whole time.
Well, he went to Virginia first. He went to Virginia as a quarterback, but then walked on at Texas Tech. But he's see ball get ball guy. He's our kind of guy. Like the one-handed pick on the sideline, punching balls out. Like he's a ball player, man. Finds the football. He probably loves having those defensive linemen in front of him more than anybody. Like just guys eating space now where he can go sideline to sideline. You know how much fun it is to play linebacker when your defensive line kicks people's aces in front of them. They can't just get up to the next level. Like it's really fun.
And the Kobe
really
Dean had a lot of fun playing behind Georgia's defensive line in 2021.
Makes it very enjoyable.
You talked about, so you had said Klatt be on next week, preview Oregon, Penn State. We'd also potentially got another coach.
Lane Train, baby. Lane
might be
Train.
Coming on.
Yep.
And I've got a question for you that is going to be a question for him all week. Who's his quarterback?
Yeah.
Because Trinidad had another day.
I think it's Trinidad. I mean, Simmons obviously.
How do you take the hot hand out?
Well, I also think that Trinidad's got that. He's got way more mobility. Not a little bit more. Like he's got way more wiggle. And I even think too, if you watched him today too, he sets up the quarterback run better. Like he's got great patience and feel. And he unlocks Lane's ability to run that QB ISO pop pass, which he will, which is so annoying to cover. Like, are you kidding me, Lane? Like, really? I want to punch you in the throat when you do stuff like that. Like, literally, QB takes his time. You insert the tight end basically as an ISO to go block the linebacker. He runs right by him, like, and passes the football to him. Like, just, and the way that Lane can devise and design offense, it's going to be really fun with him. And his ability to run, and he can throw, and he has experience, obviously. So that was, I think it's Trinidad, and it's a great name too. I like Trinidad.
Awesome crowds all over the place today, even in environments that where games were lost, like Nebraska, Utah, Indiana was a humongous environment tonight. Missouri was a great environment. Did you see the arch stare down after the
flex
after the touchdown?
Yeah.
So what were your thoughts? What were your thoughts on that?
Are you trying to hate on Arch? Like, why are you trying to make this about Arch? Don't make this about Arch.
Can
he not have fun? Can he not flex? Can he not celebrate? Like
against Sam Houston?
I don't give a dang. You only get so many opportunities. You only get so many opportunities to play. Like I got no problem with people celebrating. I don't care who you play. You make a play, got no problem with that. Like
okay.
You freaking curmudgeon-y people, man. Everybody
I was just checking.
Hate on Arch. Like
I was just checking. It was something I noticed. Some people were.
I know. Arkansas defense gives and takes. Yes, Carter giveth and taketh away. 0 for 13 on third downs.
Let's see. Fellas, think of my guy RMT, the closer, unleashed in the second half for Oklahoma. It would be R. Mason Thomas. Was it his first snap that he got the sack?
It was first or second. And it was just tenaciousness. I love it because he kind of gets beat first and then he just keeps working and works around. And Jackson Arnold, listen, Jackson Arnold's clock needs some work, okay? It needs to learn how to throw the football and to get rid of it. It needs work, but it's better than the alternative. It's better than throwing picks and making bad decisions, which he did make on the first one, right? Like he made it, like they had the little rat play or the safety that came down right in the middle of the field, read his eyes. There was a couple balls that could have been picked. There was a tip too that should have been picked off, and there could have been some big plays. But
appreciate you there, Mr. Dillagaff, or Dill. However, I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Well, you got
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
What did he say? Oh, that was his question.
I sent in the question that he asked.
That a boy.
Vanderbilt, are they a something's brewing team?
Man, they've definitely earned some respect from me. I thought they were going to be back down to earth. The schedule's not easy by any stretch of the imagination, and they're the type of team too that one injury changes their team pretty quickly. But I don't think they're going anywhere. I think they're going to be just fine. They're going to be in a ton of games.
So they got Georgia State that they're about to They were
They
destroying.
already beat Georgia State. They beat the crap out of Georgia State.
Utah State.
You realize that was a get-back game because they got beat by Georgia State last year.
That's right.
So
Utah State, though. And then they go to Alabama. So they will be 5-0, likely, heading to Alabama on October the 4th, who will just have played Georgia.
we get Georgia, Alabama this week.
And then the following week, Alabama gets Missouri, who will be 5-0, hosting Alabama.
Fantastic. So basically 3 undefeated teams in a row for Alabama.
That would be, yes, correct.
How does your radar feel about this? Dogs are a 3.5-point favorite. Early line, dogs are a favorite.
The night game at home is a thing.
They haven't lost in 40-plus games.
It's especially the night game part of it. I want to say it was 2009 or something like that, the last time they lost a home night game. So Wisconsin's terrible, but I do think that Alabama got their mojo back, and first down is going to be key. Like a lot of
Joey Aguilar had his way with Georgia's defense. Ty Simpson's been having his way with a lot of people since Florida State. The weapons with Bernard and Williams playing well. Like, it's going to be a challenge, and we still are very well aware because we live right next to Stanford Stadium. We're not far down the road. Like, I know it hasn't happened in that stadium, but Georgia's had a Bama problem for a while now. Yeah. And so that mental component of it is still very much there. But two huge games next week. We're going to talk all about it. And we got LSU Ole Miss. Another week of slates that will be unbelievable.
Oh, it's just going to be phenomenal from here on out. All these games are going to be every week. I don't think there's going to be any dud weeks at all, whatsoever. Who's your top 5 after 4 weeks? We're a third of the way through the season. Who do you think top 3, or even if you wanted to just go 3?
Well, Clemson's got to be 1, right? Oh wait.
Hashtag all out.
All out. Sold all the stock. Don't own any of it. Took the loss. Got rid of it.
You took that loss.
And so that makes you also think differently, I think, too, of LSU. Because you took LSU going into their place and going, that's a big-time deal. Well, Syracuse did it. Troy almost did it. Georgia Tech took care of business. So I think that it takes a little shine off of LSU, but you've also seen LSU play good. I'm perfectly fine with Miami being up there. I think Miami should be 1. I'm good with that. I've seen enough to like Miami at 1. I would put Ohio State at 2. That Texas win is a Texas win. That's a really good football. That's one of the best defenses in the country, and you're replacing all this stuff, and that's just your first start getting your feet wet, and you get the dub. So I think that's there too. And then I'd go 3 with LSU. I'd probably go 3 LSU. So that'd be my top 3.
I think Oregon's right there.
Yep. Oregon's got a chance. Oregon and Penn State have a chance to jump the most this week. Georgia, Bama.
Florida State is right
Florida
there.
State, yeah. Yeah, and Florida State might need to be higher. Aggies, and this is the beauty of it, man. We're about to get into the stretch where we're going to find all this crap out. Like, we're going to find all of it out. Like, all of it's going to get taken care of. And we're starting to learn all the stuff we need to learn. That's why you need to join us every week. Continue to like us, dude, subscribe us, follow us, all that stuff. And then we'll keep coming back, man, and showing up and doing this stuff because it does change. It changes every week. The more data points that you get, the more informed decisions we get to make, and that's how it should be. That's why you watch the totality of a season and you watch common opponents and who played who and how they played, and then you start to formulate, opinions, and we get some games next week that we finally, get to find some info out about some people, which is really fun.
I feel good about my college football playoff eliminator that we did on Monday. Do you remember who I picked?
Clemson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That got cemented today. That is in Sharpie now. They go.
All right. Well, we will see you guys back when? When will we see them again?
Monday night.
Yeah, we will. We'll see you Monday night. The podcast will get released Tuesday. We'll be there. We'll be back Wednesday.
Joel Klatt Wednesday.
With Joel Klatt, and then we'll grab Lane Kiffin later in the week. So we'll have plenty of stuff for you guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate y'all. Boom. We out. Peace.